Hi, I'm Scott DeStasio from DeStasio Law Firm, and today I want to talk about the topic of how do budget cuts in nursing homes affect residents. And you have to start with the basic proposition that nursing homes are corporations in business to make money, to make a profit. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with a facility making a profit. The problem comes in when the profit motive is so strong that companies cut costs to a point where they can't provide enough care. So most people don't realize this, but the largest single component of cost in a nursing home is, in fact, the staff. So if you can cut down on the cost of staff, you end up getting the same revenue minus that cost, which is lower, a higher profit. And certainly there's nothing wrong with doing that in general, but when cost cutting gets to the point where good care isn't being provided, nursing home residents suffer. You know, when a company provides a product, they can figure out how to make that same product identical for cheaper and get the same product. There's nothing wrong with that. But when they do that in a nursing home, we're talking about human lives. And when they reduce those costs, you don't get the same product. You don't get the same care. And the residents then can be neglected. So how do nursing homes do this? Well, the first thing you have to look for is the nurses, the RNs, get paid the most. The LPNs, the licensed practical nurses, get paid the second most. And the nursing assistants get paid the least. So if they can push the care down that was normally being provided by a nurse to an LPN, it's cheaper. Push the care that was provided by an LPN down to a nursing assistant, it's even cheaper. And so that's the first way that they cut costs that can affect resident care, because that person who normally would have a higher skill level isn't interacting with your resident, and they may not pick up on the things that the person with a higher skill level could pick up on. And the second way they do it is simply to have less staff on duty than they normally should. So the state of Florida has what's called minimum staffing levels. And that is, you cannot provide less than this number of staff of each type of staff member. And that sounds like a good thing, but it is a minimum. And each resident has more or less care. It's called an acuity level. And when you get residents on a floor that all need the same lower level of care, the minimum staffing levels work. But when you end up having residents with a higher acuity level, more needs, they need to be taken to the bathroom more often, they need to be sat with while they're eating, they need to be turned and repositioned in bed to avoid pressure sores. Those higher acuity level residents have more needs. You need more staff than the minimum staffing levels. But nowhere in the state of Florida is that enforced as long as they have the minimum staffing levels. So what facilities do is they market to get the sickest, the residents, the ones with the most needs, because they get paid higher for that higher acuity level resident. And then they don't increase the staff in order to take care of it, and they just keep it at the minimum staffing levels. And when these things happen, residents become neglected because there simply isn't enough care and enough staff to provide the care needed. So these are the things you should look for in a nursing home when you're attempting to put your loved one there, because understaffing, decreasing budgets can definitely affect outcome. I'm Scott DeStasio from DeStasio Law